What up, savages? And I'm just gonna start this one off by saying that this Wolverine surprised me here. When I first seen it, I wasn't too thrilled about it. I didn't think too much of it, and I don't have a specific attachment to this blue and yellow suit. I do remember the comic book, but it's in a collage in my mind with a whole bunch of other X-Men comic books, so I don't necessarily ever point this one out. But when I got it and received it, I was like, man, this has slowly became one of my best Wolverines. And I was about to put an emphasis on it and say Marvel Legends Wolverine, but I don't own any Mayfax or any other Mezcos or anything like that. And let's just say Marvel Legends makes a great Wolverine figure. They keep him small, they do his body right. Sometimes they do his claws right, which with this one, he has the more skinnier claws, and I like the more butcher knife claw effect that they use with the House of X Wolverine with the brown and beige suit, with the movie Wolverine with Hugh Jackman with the thick claws, which I will pop on in a little bit and just kind of show you how those look with a picture that I took. But this Wolverine's not for everybody. I'm a huge Wolverine fan. Wolverine's my guy when it comes to X-Men, and I think he's a great addition to the plethora of Wolverines that I do have. Here's a picture with the Hugh Jackman hands on there, and as Hugh Jackman is a real character, and this is based off comic book, the skin tones still match up. I did some coloring effects to the picture, but if you ever do it in real life, those skin tones match up quite well, and those butcher knife claws always look great on Wolverine. Here I pretty much have him posed up just with some other blue and yellow tiger stripe Wolverines. I have the first appearance of Wolverine when he first met Hulk, and I have the that's the love triangle Wolverine with his hair all patchy and torn up with the bone claws. The bone claws look good too. That is really my era of Wolverine when I started reading Wolverine Volume 2, issue 77 or 78, when he got his claws broke by Cyber. That is my era of comic book reading right there. 94, 95, 93, around that time. But he looks good against up all these guys, and that's why I love this so much, because it made me look like, I was like, damn, I really have a lot of good Wolverines. The boots on the first appearance Wolverine are awesome. The build, the aesthetic of the love triangle Wolverine is awesome too. I think he's the only one with that torn up cowl too. But I have nothing but good to say about this Wolverine. His aesthetic is very plain, but I like that. I like a plain figure sometimes. The paint isn't sloppy and everything's nice and tight. And he's pretty much got me prepped and ready for that X-Men team to come in. I really can't wait, because that wasn't something I had my eyes set on. I pretty much just put him up against some of my other Wolverines here. These I would say call more my brown version Wolverines, but these also have the thick butcher knife claws on them. And can you admit that? I mean, those claws are fantastic. And be honest with you, I've seen worse with the Wolverine claws that this blue and yellow suit has on, but you can already see when he goes around the corner, look how they like bent and smushed together. And then look how the claws look coming around on the table with the thicker claws. I mean, they have a sheen on them. They pop when they come around. You can tell like this man has some butcher knives on his hands. But solid release. He's pinless. Of course, he has double jointed arms, double jointed knees. Well, I should say elbows and knees. His butterfly joint works really well. And let's get into his head sculpts. He has two head sculpts that looks phenomenal. I wouldn't necessarily say they're on Mafex level, but they're up there. They feel good in quality when you have them in hand. This snarling one here is pretty much one of my favorite ones. The other one doesn't look too different. It's just more like a null and void face. It's just kind of mum, but it looks good. They didn't go overboard with it. And I'm not a huge fan of a Wolverine toy with just his hair out, not unless he's just in his regular clothing, but like a suit and then just no cowl. Like I'm a Wolverine guy who loves a cowl on my Wolverine, whether it's torn up or where he has his little tiny ears like the first appearance Hawk. It doesn't matter. I still like the cowl, but they did a good job with his face sculpt on here, man, and the head sculpts. They really nailed it in pocket, to be honest with you. And you didn't have to do too much. And then also the straps on his legs are keyed in also too, to where now they're not separate pieces like how they used to do the old blue and yellow costumes. The belt, however, can be moved around. That red and black belt around his waist, it's not keyed in, which is awesome. That's the only loose part, and it's not going anywhere. And I actually kind of like that's loose, so he can move around and do what he needs to do with his ab crunch. But yeah, man, great Wolverine. Some people might argue with the price because he doesn't really come with too much besides 2 extra fists, an extra head. But like I said, with Marvel Legends, I'm just hunting out what I want. And yes, I did pay $25 for him, but that's my business. That's what I want to do. I'll leave the discretion up to you. If this is your first time checking out my channel, give me a like, comment, subscribe. If you don't, just give me a view later on down the line. That's cool with me, man. It helps out the channel in every way. And like we always say on this channel, we do this for the love and beauty of action figure collecting. And until the next time, God bless.